Why is it that when I try to defend WWE, they go and do something stupid and make me look crazy?
Oh
Just
my
last
God.
week, I was defending Danhausen, and I was saying, no, it's not, it's not too much. It's not crazy. It's not, getting repetitive. And then they go and do that dumb, stupid.
Who who who
Well,
who, who who said they was doing too much Dan House and stuff? Who said it? Who said it first?
and I tried to defend it, and y'all just you hurt my heart. You broke my heart, WWE, doing
But
stupid stuff.
well, what do you expect in the home of the Clippers?
And so, with that said, before we go any further, welcome to Ringside right now. This is the channel where we talk about our ideas of what we think going on in wrestling. Before we get started, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. Share the video and leave a comment below. Let us know what you think. And of course, I'm here with the crew as always. We got Clint and Curtis. So, based off that Clipper comment, I was going to say, they tend to do stuff like Tony Romo trying to hold the extra point in the playoff game.
Oh
See,
my
and they just add more. They just keep piling on. This is
well, I mean, we are talking about curses and everything.
Triple
And
H, damn you.
And he's
Damn you,
cursing
Triple H.
himself right now. So I don't know what's going on. So since we,
And then on top of that, they're having this stupid Judy Bagwell on a pole match at SummerSlam.
the human money's in the
With
pole,
human
pole
monies.
match.
I mean, you know what? If they had announced that before this Joe Hendry concert, I was okay. This could be entertaining. This could be good. Now I don't know what to think
I got concerns
because that was just awful.
How do you go from Dominic possibly being a generational heel to now being in this?
How do you go from Danhausen be legitimately funny to this? Because up until now, he was, well, it like you said last week, it was getting kind of redundant. But I mean, for the most part, he was still funny. That's why he's popular. That's why he's selling merch. People like Danhausen, they had the momentum from the whole Knicks thing, and have they just run out of ideas?
Or I mean, it's like that's the whole idea about too much of a good thing. Now, you're doing good with Danhausen. You're giving us the curses and all the funny stuff, which is fine. But but then you got to the point where you just started to overdo it, and that's what we definitely got. And I really hate that Joe Hendry was on the wrong end of that.
Right. I mean, let's put it like this. Go ahead.
I was going to say, they haven't known what to do with Joe Hendry since he got on Raw. Like, he has not impressed me at all. And I know he's so much better than that, but the Joe Hendry I knew is not the Joe Hendry we're seeing on Raw.
Even NXT Joe Hendry was better than this.
Yeah.
And they used him very comically in that in NXT.
But I mean, he's always been a comical character.
Yeah, but he could wrestle though.
Yeah,
and he's only been in a total of one match since being on Raw. One.
Danhausen's had more matches than he has.
Wait a minute, I thought he's been in a couple. Dang, just one match.
Just one match, as far as I know. I could be wrong, but
I'll have to double check that. But it feels like, because he kind of disappeared for a while.
No, he's been in some tag matches. If you're just talking about one-on-one matches, then yeah, I think maybe one. But he's been in some tag matches with the Street Profits when they were going against, So he's been involved there. But to give this, I mean, okay. As much as we respect Truth, we know Truth is a comical wrestler. They never oversaturated us with Truth. They'll give us little bits here and there, maybe 2 segments a show, and then move on. He'll say his funny line, and then he'll keep it moving.
For one thing, let me ask you this: what brand is Truth on right now?
That would be SmackDown.
He's on SmackDown. Okay, what brand is Danhausen on?
Raw.
Is he? Because I could have sworn I saw him on SmackDown. Wasn't he on SmackDown too?
Well, he showed up on SmackDown, but he's primarily they kind of shifted him to Raw though, because I know what you're talking about.
Both shows, yeah,
because they are oversaturating us. They're forcing him down our throats. Pause.
And I mean, might as well, you know. But I mean, but he's organically over. So why do you feel the need to give us more? Not even give us more. Force us to see more.
Who is Triple H's bosses?
Probably those guys that we kind of don't kind of despise.
Hashtag
and you know
FTKO.
What? FTKO, and those idiots sitting in the office going, give more Danhausen. It's like with Time Warner and WCW, you know, they just throw more NWO at the problem instead of trying to come up with something organic and original and real.
The thing is, his gimmick was original. They just pushed it to the point to where now it's like, now it feels cookie cutter.
Well, that's classic WWE. They don't know what to do with any gimmick that they didn't create. You know, they didn't know what to do with Punk. They didn't know what to do with Daniel Bryan when they first got him. There are a lot. The Motor City Machine Guns, really?
Oh my God!
Any gimmick, you know. Jordan Grace just asked for her. She's not renewing her contract.
Ilya Dragunov.
And Dragunov.
And they created Dragunov, didn't they? That's the bad part.
I think he wrestled overseas, probably with Walter or Gunther, as we know him now, because he was on NXT UK, wasn't he? Before he
was, but he came up through that NXT system.
Yeah, he did.
At least, you know, Jordan Grace spent some time there, and then they put on the main roster, and she's appeared on TV maybe 3 or 4 times.
Less than a handful. Definitely less than a handful,
but because she wasn't a pure WWE creation, they don't know what to do with her.
But how many times have you seen that from WWE? To your point, AJ Styles is probably like the best one that was not WWE created and still carved out a legacy of his own. Well, okay, you could technically say Rey Mysterio as well. I mean, even the WCW guys, you can kind of say they did that.
Well,
you know,
WCW, yeah, the WCW guys don't count because a lot of those guys are guys who weren't getting over and weren't getting opportunities, so they came over and they made them bigger. Jericho was not getting those opportunities in WCW, so anything that you saw after he jumped, you know, you might as well just say that was WWE. And the same with Mysterio. You know, Mysterio was not a main event star in WCW. He's a main. I mean, he should have been, but he wasn't. I'm not saying anything about his ability. It's more speaking on WCW's booking.
Well, if you look at Booker T, they waited. Granted, it was the last waning years of WCW. He finally got a main event push before the company closed, and then he eventually got a semi-main event push.
Yeah,
you know, but of course, who was blocking that? Triple H. So,
yeah, and
so we know they have the
and even he was able to kind of, you know, fight through that, and you know, the King Booker thing, and kind of just go from there. But yeah,
it seems like that's the only way you can get over it. If you know they're fumbling you, is to become a comical character to where the fans love you so much, it's hard for them to fumble you. Like I said,
or just be so good, because you know Punk was a comical, Danielson was a comical, you know, but they were just so good that they were just undeniable. AJ, just you can't. There's no way to bury AJ if you tried.
You'd have to work to bury AJ.
Facts.
You know,
but
even if you put in the worst spot, you know, he's going to give you 100%.
But again, I mean, I understand there's the term, you know, for TV jumping the shark, but they're jumping the shark, the whale, the stingrays, the seals. They're jumping everything for this one match at SummerSlam.
I sent you guys a text Sunday night. It was either Sunday night or Monday afternoon before Raw. I said they're not quite jumping the shark, but they're getting close. And then they went on ahead and jumped the shark.
The concert was terrible. The match made was terrible. I mean, like, there's only like 1 or 2 things they actually did right Monday night. Like giving Raquel the women's Intercontinental title. You weren't doing anything with Soul. That was a good move though, because Raquel's actually getting over with the crowd. Soul has been kind of making mistakes with trying to get this, you know, her finisher off and a couple of botches, but so the crowd was actually really popping for Raquel.
Yeah.
So you can tell when she.
And
Go ahead.
with Saul, I don't know if it's nerves or what, because she wasn't doing this in NXT. We know she has the abilities. I don't know why she's making these
It's
mistakes
got to be
now.
nerves because, again, she had two incredible matches with champions, and then you put the Intercontinental title on there, and then all of a sudden this happens. Hopefully,
Yeah.
this is just okay. She's just shaking the nerves off. It's just a couple of bad moments where it can happen to anybody because every once in a while you can go to work and just have just a rough moment or just a rough go at things. Hopefully, that's just all that is, and she'll
Yeah.
be fine.
Growing pains. Growing
I
pains,
mean,
I hope.
putting on my Booker cap. This is actually a good opportunity too for this whole implosion that we're seeing about Judgment Day, as far as maybe Liv getting kicked out or somebody getting kicked out. To say Liv loses the title at SummerSlam, now she becomes jealous of Raquel because Raquel has a title. So now that causes tension and beef, where it either leads to Liv getting kicked out or Raquel getting kicked out, and Roxy being the one that kind of makes the decision of who gets kicked out by who she decides to join. Which
And that would be
I
interesting.
think that
Yeah.
could work. So, but
And
that's
that would
just
be
me
interesting
putting.
because, we kind of expected her to be the one to turn. So that would be a little twist on, what we predicted would happen.
Yeah. Then of course we had the Brock Oba signing. I only found one thing wrong with the way they did it. When Brock
Okay.
locked Oba in the cage, I think for me, Oba ripping the door off or
That's where I
possibly
thought they were going.
throwing one of the police guys that he crashes through the cage and the cage pops over, almost like how Lashley jumped over the rope and pinned down Umaga. If they could have did something where he just threw a guy and the cage broke down to kind of see that with Brock and them at the top, I think that would have really sold like he is a monster.
And that's where I thought they were going. It's like they did it and then forgot about it and just had them do the usual. So, I think they kind of want to give us the impression that, hey, Brock's getting in his head because he couldn't get his hands on Brock. So it's frustrating him, and that's going to give him the mental advantage, so to speak.
They could have put it over without having the whole cell down. I mean, if it just felt like you kind of booked yourself into a corner and just kind of limited what you could do with what you have.
I mean, I kind of get it because when you're having a match with a gimmick, you kind of want to sell that gimmick. So
True.
if you're going to have a cell match, then have the cell. Just like if you're going to have a tables, ladders, and chairs match, you would have tables and ladders and chairs in the ring
Yeah, but
for
how
no
many times?
reason other than to sell the gimmick.
Yeah, but how many times have we brought the cell down for a contract signing? This is the first time that I can remember that's
Well,
actually.
yeah, that was different.
Yeah.
Now, again, I get what you're saying with the tables, ladders, and chairs and all that.
They
You
they
just
just should have done more with it.
Yeah, but I felt
Yeah.
like they kind of limited themselves there.
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, when have you seen Brock smile so much during a program with somebody? Like Brock is smiling like, yes, this is what I've been waiting for type of smile. Like, I'm glad this is the guy that I can have come behind me.
I think the last time I saw him smiling this much, I mean, it wasn't even this much, but it was, I think, during his last feud with Taker. There was a few smiles in
Yeah.
there. They were laughing in the ring, but it was nothing close to this. I mean, he is just thrilled. So I'm hoping, that's a good sign that they're going to do the right thing at SummerSlam. But I mean, it seems like he's really enjoying this. That he's really enjoying, passing the torch, which I never would have expected that out of Brock, to be a pass torch guy, but it seems like that's what he's doing. So I'm happy for it.
I mean, it sounds like old school, type wrestling. Like,
Yeah.
okay, if you're going to be the guy behind me, I need to know you can stand toe to toe with me. And Ova's
And
been proving that he can stand toe to toe with him.
And see, and this shows me that Brock actually cares about the business, because I was always under the impression that he didn't care about the business. He cared about making his money. And once he's gone, he doesn't give a damn what comes next for WWE. So this actually shows me that he cares.
Yeah, he cares in some cases. That's what I at least thought, because if it kind of depends on who he's working with. If he loves who he's working with, he's gonna sell. He's gonna sell for them. He's gonna make them look like $1 million. But if he doesn't
Yeah.
care for it, then he probably is gonna get a bit lazy, and then he's just gonna just kind of go through the motions. But
And that's what I like about this. He has definitely sold for over. He sold during the build up to Mania. He sold at Mania. Even when he beat him at, what was that, Clash in Paris? Even
Clash
then
of
he
Italy.
sold.
Clash of
Yeah,
Italy.
Clash in Italy. Sorry, yeah. Even then he made Oba look good. A lot of people complain about it, but I mean, we kind of knew they were gonna have to tie it to have the tiebreaker match. But even then, he still put Oba over, even in
Yeah.
beating him.
Yeah, I think the only other person that he really tried to get over was Cody.
Yeah. Perfect example. Yeah.
So I mean, but this is only one of the maybe 3 matches I'm really looking forward to at SummerSlam. And I gotta say, it's the build-up that's done it. We had, the tiebreaker match, how they built it. Oba cutting great promos. I mean, this is what we wanted.
Yeah.
And
you know what? Well, go ahead, Curtis.
Yeah,
I'm going
and
to talk
it's
about
like every
SmackDown.
time he gets on the mic, he's going to do even better, and you see that promise, you see that potential, and you're like, you know what? He gets it. He knows he doesn't have it all together, but he knows that he has the tools. He knows how to slowly but surely put it together and be that true superstar.
Yeah, we're really seeing a star in the making, and not just as far as them pushing him. I mean, as far as his development also. I didn't have many complaints about Oba when he came to the main roster, but he is getting better and better. And I didn't think, I wouldn't have said, hey, he needs to improve, but he's improving.
And it's not like a Roman or even a John Cena type situation where he's being constantly shoved in that face. You got to take, it's been very organic.
Very organic. They're actually, I mean, maybe they need to use him as a blueprint for how they need to do Danhausen, because they're doing so much better with him. I would actually say he's probably being pushed better than Trick right now.
Well, I think the thing about it is, when you're a beast that seems unstoppable, I think it's easier for you to book that way and kind of create, pull you through without really having to shove you through, when you already have some of those skill sets, to like what Curtis mentioned, because in NXT he showed he could cut a promo.
So, but it has to be the right kind of beast too, because otherwise you got another Ryback or another Khali. Not just because they're big and strong don't mean they're going to get over.
Man, that's true. So now we get this Vision and Alpha Academy, which I hope is done now. But what do you think about Austin Theory kind of taking things up an extra notch, the way he did that chair shot to Otis at the end?
I think it was a very interesting way to continue the feud, because they pinned them 1, 2, 3. The match is over. Okay, at that point I did think it was over, which was kind of disappointing to me, because I wanted to see it continue. But when he came back with that chair shot, now Otis has to come back for revenge. And if you're gonna book this right, they have to get the revenge. Otherwise, you're just gonna make him look stupid. If Otis doesn't come back and get his revenge, and Alpha Academy don't take those belts, it's going to be, to a lesser extent, Triple H and Booker T at WrestleMania.
Oh, don't remind me.
That story, I hate to do it, but that story was built for Booker to win, and they just went left with it, I guess because of Triple H's ego. But this angle is built for the comeback. It's built for, okay, the good guy gets his revenge.
But do you seriously see them winning the tag belts off the Vision?
Yeah, that I think so, because I mean, it's not going to kill the Vision to drop the tag belts, because then they can just start going after singles belts, which I think they should be anyway. but I mean, it won't hurt them to drop the tag belts. And to drop them in that particular feud in that fashion, it's better than losing this to some random tag team.
Facts.
You know, if I was going to pick someone to take the belts, it would have been the Profits, but they gave them right back to them. So I think this is the next best thing, especially with that angle that they started Monday.
I wonder if they dropped the titles because Bianca's both of them are, since they're wives, Bianca and Angelo's wife pregnant around the same time. I wonder because I think Bianca is due sometime in August. So I wonder if they let them drop the titles just so they can kind of.
If that were the case, they should have timed their comeback differently because why would you bring them back, have them for a few weeks, have them win the title, lose it immediately, and then go? If that's the case, just bring it back later. That's a few weeks they could have had at home.
But the thing is, you got to do something with the tag titles because I was mentioning this to a coworker today. They should just go ahead and, because of the lack of the tag teams on both shows, just go back and could have a unified tag belt and defend them on both shows at this point because you don't have a lot of tag teams on both shows. You only got maybe 3 tag teams per show.
WWE has had a horrible track record with tag teams, so. When was the last time? I mean, first of all, how many real tag teams do we have? And secondly, when was the last time we saw, a decent tag team story?
Well,
it's probably been not since New Age Outlaws. I'm thinking
at least, even with tag teams that get over, they don't do much with them. The New Day,
Well, New Day, I take back New Day.
But that's it. And look how long ago that was.
Yeah, it seems like wasn't that long ago we were trying to figure out how many tag teams are there in WWE, and here we go again with the same sad song, just a different verse.
Especially since the Usos are tied up with the Bloodline storyline, which takes them out of the tag titles unless somehow you let them win it just to hold the belts hostage in that storyline, which I think they're trying to avoid. But again, you're still there's only realistically 4 tag teams on Raw and maybe 3 on SmackDown.
I would be all for them holding the belts hostage if there were teams to actually compete against and get beat until someone actually finally takes the belts off them. Holding the belts hostage only works if there are teams chasing you, and there aren't any teams chasing.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But speaking of the Bloodline, though, what did you guys think about how Solo crashed the Usos promos?
That was hilarious.
Oh my gosh! Hold up, wait a minute. It's a 22. Pew pew pew.
Because when he first did that first pow, I didn't realize that was Solo. They were kind of looking confused. I'm like, what is? And then I realized, that wasn't Jay that said that. That was Solo in the crowd.
You know it's Solo, but this is about the best promo work I've seen Solo do in almost his entire career because he hasn't really had too much luck with his promos, but he's actually finally is starting to get it.
He's done that traditional Samoan thing that where they have to turn heel and finally find their niche, find what they get. Just like Rock did, just like Roman did. They have to kind of find that sweet spot of, okay, now I get it. This is how I want to do it.
So do you think that Solo, and I kind of seen comments today about it, do you think Solo kind of, if you squint your eyes just a little bit, gives you a vision of The Rock when he was getting ready to lead Nation Domination or Hollywood Rock as far as his promo? I'm talking about the type of swagger he's giving, not necessarily the quality of the words, but the swagger of it, so to speak.
It's kind of like that, but not. It's more of a, and we talked about this off air, it's more of a Nino Brown. What was that guy's name? We mentioned it. We were saying he was the villain from Four Brothers. Sweet. It's kind of like a combination. Sweet. Yeah, it's kind of like that swagger.
Yeah,
kind of like that. Get down on the floor and eat your food off the floor. That kind of swagger. It's almost like a gangster swagger, but also smart alecky kind of. It's like a mix. It's not really something you can describe, which makes it unique. It's something new. So it's not quite The Rock. it's something new altogether, and that's what I like because he's not taking old gimmicks; he's making his own thing.
Yeah, because now it's going to put you in a mindset that you don't actually think he's going to return to the bloodline at all.
And see,
and that's
and
what
see,
you kind of want to give that illusion, at least
and
for
see,
now.
that's the thing. I don't see this version of Solo joining the bloodline. I can't see, if it was the old, Beast Solo, maybe, but they've got Jacob filling that spot. So I don't see this Solo join the bloodline. So I don't even know if they're even going to still go that route.
It just doesn't feel like it at all because it's like
It's like I wanted him to, but now I like him.
Okay, but go ahead, Curtis.
It feels like almost completely different with Solo. I mean, it was just at first for me was like he's annoying you as a heel, just yapping, but he had something there. But now it's like, okay, now I want to listen to what he's got to say.
Yeah.
But how many times have we seen a person that's a face and they get constantly beat down, and then at some point they snap and turn? Have we not seen that?
We have seen that.
So
Yes.
what if Solo now starts to beat downs until say some Survivor Series? And Survivor Series, he's like, you know what? I've had it. It's easier to be in the bloodline and not catch these beat downs than it is to be quote unquote solo dolo. But that's that long term booking that at this point we don't know. Hey, solo dolo definitely needs some shirt, like the Stone Cold, Stone Cold Bloody Mary mix shirts, which you can find, a handful of tights. Just a quick little promo grab because why, Curtis?
Because the best way to win is with a handful of tights.
There you
You
go.
already know. But yeah. T-pop.
But I don't I don't see Solo joining because he's just tired of getting his ass kicked. Like I said, I think they're going to have to give him something. And this is something I was going to say earlier about SmackDown's promos. Their promos, I don't know who's writing their promos, who's changed things over there, but their promos are getting pretty deep. It's not your usual wrestling promo. They're having some deep discussions over there. And I think with the Solo thing, he has to get something emotionally from Roman that he's missing. Remember, we had that promo where he's saying, that's not how you treat someone you love. I think when Roman finally apologizes to Solo and says, hey, we did you wrong. We embarrassed you. We shouldn't have done that. You're right. That's not how you treat someone you love. That's not how you treat family. And I'm sorry. And if you want to join us, please do. I want us together. But if not, because of how I've treated you, I understand. And walks away and let him make that choice on his own. And I think that's what will do it.
Yeah, and what if that happens literally to go on home show before Survivor Series?
Exactly. And then he turns, yeah.
So granted, outside of like those things that we talked about as far as with Oba, with Raquel, and with Solo, there really wasn't a lot to be happy about as far as Raw overall.
No, SmackDown was better.
Yeah, way better. Especially the interaction with Gunther and Aldis. I mean, like, you're wanting to see this. I still hate they're trying to play up Aldis as being NWA champ and TNA champ, a little bit through commentary, but I think a video montage, a video package through that would have been way better. So people can get a visual of it.
Okay, so let me ask you: do you think WWE is really going to go because they can get the TNA footage, but do you think they're really going to go to NWO and say, "Hey, can we borrow this footage and get it?"
At least TNA. You can at least do TNA.
Yeah, but I mean, if you really want to look at his championship years, it's really going to be NWA, and because of how WWE has treated other promotions in the past, I wouldn't be surprised if they weren't too quick to, throw some footage their way.
Well, okay. If you leave out NWA and just show him holding the TNA World Title, showing him doing some moves in TNA, maybe versus someone who's currently in WWE. You see what I'm saying? So to kind of kind of show that, oh, okay, he's actually got some skill set that really warrants this match beyond just a general manager and a wrestler.
Well, I think they're working around it. What they're doing instead is they're having him not completely get his ass kicked, because you notice whenever he goes toe to toe with Gunther in those brawls, he stands his own. He can handle his business, until Gunther hits a low blow. So they're showing you better than they're telling you. Hey, this man can fight. This man can wrestle. This isn't some guy who just sits backstage and doesn't know what he's doing. He has wrestled. He can fight.
Something about those Brits that it's just going to show you somehow, some way they can hold their own. They can throw hands.
Yeah,
definitely. So, but again, and really, yeah. I mean, to put it to the point, and he does have a nice selection as far as who he married. Shout out to Mickey James. Much respect.
Respectfully.
My favorite WrestleMania moment of all time.
Oh,
her and Trish, if you will.
Yeah.
I think that's more of a dream scenario.
That's another story,
Yeah. That involves some Jergens. But anyway, so I think it's prediction time, guys. Going to SummerSlam. So we got 12 matches, which I'm shocked that they actually got 12 decent matches.
And the fact that it's not 12 in one night, it's 12 over 2 nights. So we're getting 6 matches a night. So that gives me hope that we're going to get decent matches, that they're all going to get a decent amount of time.
Oh, yeah. And
now, I said, gives me hope. Don't screw me over like you did with Danhausen. Gives me hope that there are going to be some good matches.
I wouldn't hold my breath on that. But keep in mind, and there are reports now that saying that they're doing away with that free hour on ESPN for the pay-per-views.
You got to stop doing that at some point. Take the training wheels off and make them have to pay for it, because if you keep giving them an hour, you're gonna have people continuing to complain. Oh, why are you giving us this? And then we only get 3 matches that we pay for, and this is what we're paying this, and blah 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 blah. So eventually, you got to take the training wheels off on that.
I'm fine with that, but here's the thing: don't do an hour. Do a free match. Have a match and decide, okay, we're going to do this match for 20 minutes, and give them free 20 minutes. Because it works if there's an attraction. Like with Brock and Oba, that was an attraction. So yeah. I would do it for that. With this being Hell in a Cell, if I was going to, and with them being on night 1, I would say give them that. Let's make that match. Do you think Brock and Oba can go 30 minutes?
But the problem with that is that's likely your main event. So you can't give
that's
them
your co-main event. Well, yeah, that was your co-main event for the night, but
yeah,
they might put that one on first just to be boom out the gate.
Exactly. Just to go ahead and count it, 1 to get out the way, and 2 to get the crowd hype, because their main event was obviously going to be, and I'm looking at it now, Cody and Punk.
Yeah, for night 1, definitely.
Yeah.
So go ahead. Let's go ahead and do a rundown, Clint, since you already got pulled up. Let's go ahead and start night 1.
Night 1, the first match, and I'm going by what's listed on the site that I'm on, Liv and Io for the women's world title.
I got Io.
I got Io. I got Io. I mean, there's been a little bit of, and I hate to keep mentioning Danhausen, but there was a little bit of a curse there, so they might throw that a little bit, but that still should be a banger.
Definitely.
I don't even think the curse is going to have anything to do with it. I think there's going to be so much confusion at ringside that the judgment, they're going to screw each other over, because there's always a lot of lately in their interference. There's a lot of confusion. You got one person over here distracting the ref, another person trying to do something. They kind of run into each other. So there's going to be some kind of miscommunication where they're going to run into each other, and that interference is actually going to turn against Liv, and she's going to drop the belt, and that's going to help kind of push that breakup storyline that we're hoping for.
Yeah, and just keep in mind with SummerSlam, there is for the past 3 or 4 years, they've always been someone coming back or debuting at SummerSlam. So maybe there may be somebody coming to help Io sort out the confusion, so she'll be able to get the title. Who knows? I'm not calling it per se, but I can see that being a possibility.
Kyrie. No, I wish.
Bruh.
In a perfect world,
Oh
yes.
my God. In perfect world, yes.
Okay.
So,
Next, Oba and Brock. Of course, I think we're all going to say Oba.
yeah, I think that's going to be like one of those like 14, 15-minute classic matches.
Yeah.
But,
Oh,
the
I think they're going to put on
the
show.
ruler shall prevail.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Definitely but let's just move on from that. But please, we're gonna get some color.
You think so? From who? From who? Both or just Brock? Or just Oba?
I'd
I
say
think
in a perfect world, both.
Yeah, I like to see both.
But
Seeing a bloody beaten Brock and then seeing a bloody triumphant Oba is just a really cool visual to me.
but we know how WWE is when it comes to color.
Yeah, it would be nice. I mean, they do it occasionally. It's not.
But it's more incidental than on purpose. I don't think I've only maybe once or twice in the past 10, 15 years has it really been on purpose. Everything else, I think, has been more incidental.
I feel like they did it recently. Didn't someone get their head smashed in the steel steps a few months back and they were bleeding?
Well, outside of Cody,
yeah,
Cody
I think it was
always
Cody.
bleeds.
Yeah.
But Cody always bleeds.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got the blonde hair. He's a pretty bleeder, so to speak.
What?
I mean, I don't.
No,
okay, you know what I mean. Okay,
wow.
Blonde wrestlers bleed better. Look at Flair. Look at Dusty. I mean, it's the hair that does it because the blood is all in the hair. You get what I'm saying.
The views of Clinton do not reflect the views of Ringside right now.
You said what you said, Clinton.
Yeah, you said what you said, man.
Okay, see Ric Flair, for example. Thank you. That's what I'm going to say.
Yeah, and let's leave it there.
Yeah, there you go. Moving forward. The 6-man tag, LA Knight, Solo, and Royce against the Bloodline. I'm actually on the fence about this one.
Yeah, that one is like part of me really wants LA Knight, Royce, and Solo to win, but I feel like the Bloodline's gonna win.
I am not confident in Solo and company. I got the Bloodline.
I mean, if you were to give me a compelling argument why you think the Bloodline will win, I would probably go in that direction. It's just the fact that it just depends on how this is going to play out with the overlying storyline of the Bloodline.
Okay, I'll say this. I'm going to say this. I'm going to say. Oh wow! I still have to kind of think about it.
Again.
Okay. I'm just going to make a guess, and if I'm wrong, I'm just wrong. I'm going to say LA Knight, Solo, and Royce only because I know that Roman is going to win, so I can see them sacrificing the Bloodline win in night 1 to screw over Seth and have Roman retain in night 2, because that's also going to kind of push the story. Well, we could push the story either way. If LA Knight, Solo, and Royce lose, and then Seth gets screwed over and he comes to them. You know what? That actually sounds better, because when Solo offered to have Seth back, Seth turned him down.
You know what?
So if they all lose, then Seth's going to come back to them and say, okay, guys, we all got screwed over. We all need to team up. So I'm going to go with Bloodline. There we go. I'm going Bloodline.
You know what? I'm going to change my pick. I'm going to go with Team LA Knight, just so at some point the Bloodline's going to screw it up, and then of course we're all going to be so happy for Jacob to be upset at old punk ass Jay.
I was just thinking, I was hoping we get a punk ass Jay moment out of this match. I was just wanting that.
We hadn't had one in a while. I'm starting to get worried.
I'm worried.
Exactly.
We need one.
Like, dude, we need to keep this going.
We're getting to that SummerSlam. I believe,
so.
since you explained it that way, we're getting to SummerSlam.
Well, maybe
Well,
not at SummerSlam, but I think maybe the Raw following SummerSlam we'll get a Punk ass
on
Jay.
Raw. I mean, and that could go either way because Jimmy and Jay could screw up, and Jacob could be the one that saves them and gets the winning pin.
See, yeah, that
and
is
then
what I'm
and
thinking.
that leads to your Punk ass Jay moment. Yeah. So, and like I said, I think LA Knight, Solo, Royce, and Seth all losing is what we need to kind of propel them towards this kind of team effort.
Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead based on your explanation, Clint. I'm going to go ahead and go Bloodline. But Curtis, I understand why you going LA Knight with that. I do understand that, but
because I was on the fence. I get it. So either way, this is one of those ones that are kind of hard. So if I get this wrong, I'm not going to feel too bad about it.
Right.
Because I was really on the fence with that one.
Exactly. All right, so what we got next, Clint?
Next we got Gunther and Nick Aldis, which I want to of course say Gunther, but I said that Nick was going to give a good showing. He wasn't going to get punked down in that match.
Yeah.
I think.
Go ahead, Pierre.
No, I was just gonna say I think it's gonna be like a dirty finish by Gunther because he didn't realize Nick Aldis was as good as he was, and then he had to pull an ultimate dirty trick. Even
like he's been doing the past 2 weeks, kicking him in the nuts.
Yeah, kicking the nuts. Foot on the ropes, grabbing grabbing a handful of tights. I think it's gonna be something like that to where Aldis almost had it, but Gunther had to do something cheap to win.
I think the closer that Nick comes to winning, but doesn't actually win, the better.
Like, because you can see the look on Gunther's face, like, oh no, I may not be able to beat this guy. I need to do something.
I mean, I want to get a 2.999 second pin and jump off my couch and go, what the hell? That's what I want. I want something that's going, man, I thought he had it. I want to lose my disbelief in that moment.
This could potentially steal the show. If they do this, if they execute this right, this is gonna steal the show. Gunther's gonna win, but Nick Aldis is gonna put up one hell of a fight.
Oh yeah, he's gonna tap. He's gonna tap into that well. Because think about it, he hadn't wrestled in almost 2 years.
3 years. 3 years.
Okay.
They did say that on commentary, 3 years. But yeah, I want to see Gunther, crawling away from the ring, going, "Dude, what the hell was that?"
Like this looked like I can't believe I almost lost to this guy type look. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and go Gunther, but it's the same thing. Yeah, like you guys are saying.
All right. We got the 6 women's tag match, the Bellas and Paige versus Fatal Influence. And I would, even though Nikki has returned, I want to see Fatal Influence win because 1, I want to see them get built up as a dangerous heel unit, and 2, I'm kind of hoping for a breakup and the Bellas turning on Paige.
Exactly. I've said it before. I'll say it again. The sooner you pack up the Bella bitches, the better we'll all be.
Wow! Damn,
wow!
Wow!
So the vulgarness, sir.
Language.
and you can't use the excuse of calling that because you don't know their names, because you do know their names, sir.
Yeah, but
if you would have said winches, I would have rolled with you. The 2 winches.
I'm using alliteration here.
Not to be no.
And the sad part is this is not going to be the end of them, because again, the whole point, I believe, was to put the tag belts on the Bellas so they can have that tag title run. So because Nikki got injured and we didn't get that, I think they're going to stick around a bit longer.
Yeah, that makes sense. But I think it's going to be. I think it's still going to be Fatal Influence. I mean, if you had these women come in to be ultra hot, they were going to run SmackDown and things of that nature. You can't just give them the tag titles just to lose in SummerSlam. You have to keep that momentum going, especially if you want Jacy Jayne to kind of be the leader to be a serious world title threat.
They've been wrecking shops since
that's what they need to keep doing that. Yes, they need to keep doing. They need to run roughshod through the whole division. Yeah, exactly. All right, last match of night one: Punk and Cody.
I'll let you guys go because I want to save mine as a surprise.
I'm gonna go with CM Punk because this is it. Now, I don't expect Cody to turn heel on that night, but it's gonna build. It's gonna start to be a build. It's gonna build towards a heel turn later on down the line, but perhaps planting the seeds, if you will. But I got CM Punk winning this one. Cody's going to eventually find himself. It'll be at the start of, okay, I went from being QB1 to now I can't win that big match anymore.
That's a good point. I was going to say Punk just because I don't want to see him hot potato the belt again. We had a title change followed by an immediate title change. What, 2 nights later, 3 nights later, whenever it was. I think it's too soon to take the belt off Punk when you just put it on him. And you didn't put it on because there was an injury or, plans had to change. This was the plan. So I think they need to keep it on for a while. Plus, seeing that rematch, let's say Sammy wins number 1 contender, seeing that rematch between Punk and Sammy is going to be pretty good too.
All right. I'm going with the top of the cage pick here.
Okay.
No finish. Why?
How so? I got to hear this.
Why? Because somebody comes back who hasn't been on TV in a while. Someone who has beef with Cody and with Punk. Mr. Drew McIntyre.
Yes. Okay. Yes. You know what? I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that because that's going to add to the title picture because now you got Cody, you got Punk, you got Gunther who's still pissed off, you got Seth. Yeah, I'm all for it.
Oh, you think that's something? Just wait till we talk about night 2. But I'm going. This is where I'm going. No finish due to Drew McIntyre.
Okay. And then Cody, like Punk gets to keep the belt, so I'm cool with that too. But that would be interesting. I'm still going to say Punk, but that would be interesting. Okay, so we're going to night 2. We're going to start off with the IC belt, Penta and Chad Gable. Since we're seeing the resurrection, so to speak, of Chad Gable and his redemption arc, and it's in his hometown, and Penta has had that belt for a while, I'm going to say I was hoping that it would be all ego that would take the belt from him, but because of the circumstances.
Just get to the point, Clifton.
Okay. He doesn't even do that anymore. Okay, Chad Gable.
Yeah, I'm going Chad Gable. That's how you complete the redemption arc.
Yeah.
It's in his hometown. You got to go with Chad Gable. Please and thank you.
I'm so glad he doesn't do that anymore because that was very annoying. Which is a heel's job, but
true.
Okay. Next 5-way ladder match for the interim women's title. Tiffany Stratton, Jade Cargill, Chelsea Green, Charlotte Flair, and based on who wins the SmackDown, either Julia or Lash, which I'm hoping it's Lash. Well, let me ask you this. Do we think either Julia or Lash Legend are going to win the title?
No.
Okay, so that doesn't matter. So who are we picking?
I'm going with Jade Cargill because who's going to be waiting in the wings? Rhea Ripley. So you got to have Jade Cargill run roughshod. You have to have her be the leader, and of course the baddies are going to follow. And they're gonna get involved. They're gonna interfere. I'm going Jade Cargill because she's that. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Let me ask you don't want to call her.
Yeah, now he wants to censor out.
Right.
Which Jade,
Hey, it's Jade. Much respect to the queen.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. Do you think Alexa's going to interfere? You think she's going to come back during that match?
Possibility. Well, she may drive the baddies out. Put like that.
So if that happens, is Charlotte going to win?
That was going to be my pick.
Okay. So it's either going to be Jade or Charlotte. And in a perfect world, just for shits and giggles, Chelsea.
Well, this is the only reason I say.
I mean, it's an interim belt, but
Yeah.
no, realistically, I'm going to say Jade because she's going to have the belt. She'll feud with Charlotte for a while, but she's going to retain, and then we get Jade and Rhea. I don't think they're going to give us Charlotte and Rhea.
No, I think
Not
I
like
actually
that.
think the opposite. Don't get me wrong.
Okay.
I want Jade to win. I want to put that out there. I want Jade to win, but I think if you go back to that WrestleMania, what was it, 2022, 2023?
Oh, well, Charlotte and Rhea, well, they should have main evented, but they gave it to Sammy and KO and Usos because of the
Right.
storyline.
WrestleMania 39.
The rematch.
Yeah, well, they had to match.
And this time, it's like, I'm the champion. No, I'm the real champion. You're the fake champion. And now you've created this storyline for these two to actually get on and possibly put on another one of those matches. However, I will say, and I discussed this in one of our other shows, Jade has wrestling soulmates with Rhea and Charlotte. We know with the matches she's had with those two ladies, she's been a very good wrestler. Well, let me take back the very good wrestler. She wrestled well in those matches.
Yeah.
I put it like that. So I think it's going to be Charlotte just because I want to sell the box office that way. However, I want Jade to win it just for the reasons you said, Clint, because because we don't know how long Rhea Ripley's going to be out. So now you have a built-in feud between Jade and between Charlotte, and now you have a belt that's on the line, and now it can really mean something.
Yeah. Plus, I think it's better to have a heel champion, kind of like you said earlier, holding the belt hostage, running the division until Rhea comes back and she's the hero that saves everyone. Now, that being said, it would also be interesting to see later on down the line, Rhea come back, Jade has the interim title, and Charlotte somehow gets the #1 contender match, and they decide to put them on a triple threat.
I can see that happening possibly
because we've already seen the one-on-one match. But I mean, either way it'll work out. But we've already seen the one-on-one matches. I wouldn't mind seeing a triple threat with the three of them, but I think it's really going to be Jade and Rhea.
Oh, you're talking about a match. I thought you was talking about something else.
No. That's something we talk about later. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Off camera.
I said Charlotte. I didn't say Tiffany Stratton, or Lash or Nia.
Charlotte
Flair.
Flair. Why would you say Tiffany? I mean, never mind. No disrespect to Tiffany.
I mean, she's better than Charlotte.
I mean,
well, both of them had surgery, so I mean.
Okay, so who would you pick?
Well, okay, Tiffany because she's a former gymnast, but Charlotte used to be a cheerleader too. Yeah, but okay. Overall, okay, yeah. We'll talk about that.
We'll talk about that later. Yeah. Okay. Next match. Okay. Where were we? Okay. Danhausen and Dominic. Human Monies on a Pole match. The winner will keep the $100,000 that Danhausen stole from Judgment Day.
Let it be Dominic. I just say forget it. Let it be Dominic. Let him win. Let him move on to be what we thought he could be, or at least grow towards that. Not this BS that we're seeing now.
Danhausen will win this match, but if they can, now there is a possibility, and maybe this is just me being a little hopeful here. Maybe I'm hoping that they realize, okay, well, what happened on Monday Night Raw was not very good. Let's kind of make up for this and actually make it worth something. But yes, it's Danhausen, but it's still Danhausen. That it's not. I mean, I'll make a Simpsons reference. On Raw, we got Danhausen, but hopefully, if everything goes well, we'll get Danhausen.
So you're saying they're going to actually improve the character? I mean, based on what I saw on Raw, I don't know.
I mean, there's really no other way you can go in this direction as far as this match goes.
Okay, I'll. I have to edit that out later.
Right.
I will say this: Danhausen hasn't lost any match since he's been in WWE, and we're supposed to be pushing Dom as hopefully a future world champion heel. I hope. But we want the match to be comical. So I'll say this. I think that with interference from JD, Dom is going to win, and he's going to grab the bag and run up the ramp, and we're going to find it empty because Danhausen has already spent all the money.
Yeah,
The
my
human
eyes
money.
hurt just thinking about this match.
I'm
My
trying to
eyes
make the
hurt.
best. I'm trying to make the best situation out of I can. I mean, something has to make it salvageable. It has to be funny, but it also can't make Dom look like too much an idiot.
And it
You know,
can't
the
be
mini
just.
houses are gonna come out. So go ahead.
And it has to be actually funny, not corny funny, not that fake Michael Cole laugh we used to get on TV. It has to be something actually funny, and no more mini houses. I think that joke has run its course. It was funny the first time.
And please don't.
You know,
And please, the WWE might try this, but please do not bring Justin Jefferson and have him do the gritty during the match or after the match or at any point.
no celebrities, no NBA players, no dancing girls, no mini housing.
It's too late.
Come up with something.
That's exactly what they're going to do, Curtis. That's
Lord,
exactly what they're going to do.
You spoke it into existence. Thank you a lot.
Well,
hey,
hold
I blame
on,
Curtis.
When
it happens, I blame Curtis.
No,
You
because he did the commercial for the tickets.
Well,
yeah, okay. There you go.
And plus, they're in the home of the Minnesota Vikings anyway, so there you go.
Hold on. But maybe it won't be him. Maybe it'd be Kyler Murray. Didn't Kyler sign with Minnesota?
I believe he did. Yes, he did.
I don't care who signed with who. I'm tired of seeing NBA players. We already did this at MSG.
But who's the parent company? Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, that part.
Okay, so just at this point, just close your eyes, relax, and let it happen. Just
that would be the bathroom break match.
You know what? I actually am not going to use to take my bathroom break there. I'm going to watch that match because it's kind of like a bad car wreck where you don't want to watch, but you can't help but watch. I just want to see.
You could not watch a bad car wreck.
I just want to see how stupid it's going to be. I'm just going to sit there, my arms folded, going, "How are they going to screw this up?" Maybe they'll surprise me.
This match may require the gift of Jericho. If you know what I mean.
No.
So I'm going to have my 12-year-old.
It's going to make me put it on the list. That's what it's going to make me do.
I'm going to have my 12-year-old watch this match with me, and she can tell me if it's good or not.
Oh my god!
And when we report back, she'll give her a report. How about that?
Well, or a matter of fact, you guys will be able to see it live. Well, we won't be able to see live night 2. My bad. But night 1, we will be broadcasting live in case you guys want to join us.
Our first ever live stream.
First ever live stream. All right, Clint, let's go. Let's skip over that monstrosity and go to the next match.
All right. Let's see. Sammy and Finn, number 1 contender. Wow, poor Sammy.
I think
because I really don't. I really don't see.
I got Sammy winning this, but I don't see him winning the title. He'll probably get screwed over for his title shot, but he's gonna win number 1 contendership.
But I don't see them shutting Finn down like that this early. He just got on SmackDown. They've been kind of trying to build him back up.
He just had a match with Punk earlier this year for the title.
But that was the old Finn.
Yeah, that was Judgment Finn, which was literally
we're
4 or 5 months ago.
Yeah, we're a new brand, new fan. You know, we in WWE terms, we forgot about that. Remember, WWE fans have short memory. Wink, wink. So that didn't happen. That was the multiverse.
Oh
Lord. I mean that is a tricky call.
I'm gonna go ahead and say Finn, as long as it leads to Sammy doing the crash out that I mentioned a couple weeks ago, where it crashes out and just is like really just on a warpath type type deal that leads to him getting a number one contenders match or leads to him winning Royal Rumble.
You know what? Since you said that, I'm going to go with Sammy having an in-ring crash out. I want to go with him, like you said with Gunther, using every dirty trick in the book, getting really desperate and winning. So it's not going to make Finn look bad because it's going to obviously be, oh, wow, he really just cheated. Maybe, like you said, the foot on the rope thing or whatever. He's going to apply some dirty tricks and screw Finn over.
Or perhaps win with a handful of tights.
Maybe. That way it doesn't bury Finn because he has a legit argument saying, hey, I got screwed over. You saw it. But Sammy is still technically the number one contender. So I'm going to go with Sammy.
I'm still sticking with Finn, but I can see your point on that, and on it going that way for Sammy's. But I'm sticking with Finn, and Sammy crashes out.
Okay. I mean, he's going to crash out either way. I think we agree on that.
True.
All right. Last two matches, unless I'm missing anything. Yeah, last two matches. Trick and Baron Corbin. Are they really going to take the belt off Trick?
He just got a customized belt.
Yeah. I mean, I know Baron Corbin just came back and they're trying to make him into something, but I mean, he could win by DQ. Yachty could hit Baron Corbin with the trick stick or whatever.
Trick shot.
Yeah.
And trick shot. And the fans are still going to go home happy because they want to see Trick win either way. So, I'm going to say Trick, but it's going to be interesting how they pull this off without making Baron Corbin look bad.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say a screwy finish, or maybe Melo interferes since Baron interfered in their match.
You know what? Okay, so we can go with no finish. That can be a dusty finish. And then we get maybe a triple threat.
I'm going to go with Trick, but I still think Melo will interfere.
Yeah, I'm going to change mine and say dusty finish.
I say Melo. I say Trick wins. Melo interferes, so now he can have a program with Corbin, and then Trick gets involved where they have a three-way at some point.
All right, and the final match of the biggest party of the summer: Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins. And I said it before: Seth is going to get screwed over, and Roman is going to finally, in his mind, beat Seth.
Hey, we have to acknowledge our tribal chief. Roman's going to take it, and he's going to build himself up to eventually face the ruler, which we discussed earlier. But Roman's going to get the win finally.
I think that should be WrestleMania. I think next year's WrestleMania should be over at Roman.
Okay, guys, hear me out. Another dive off the top of the cage. Who else has beef with Roman and Seth?
Hell, Moxley.
No.
No. Okay, who has beef with Roman and Seth?
Drew McIntyre.
Oh,
another no finish, and Drew is with both matches because he is with the S with both matches. With both, so think about it. He has beef with legitimately all four of those wrestlers.
You know what? That would be cool. That would be something new and interesting, and I wouldn't mind seeing that. But I really think Roman's going to win.
That's what I said.
Because they're building towards something, I think. So I think it's going to be Roman goes over with help from the bloodline, and Seth is going to join the other guys. But that would be cool. I wouldn't mind. I know people don't like, no finishes, but for him to ruin both matches like that, both nights, you talk about hater of the year.
Oh man, hate.
Hater of the year.
Forget your Silky Johnson. We got Drew McIntyre.
Hater of the year.
The way Drew McIntyre carries on, it's almost like ECW test. He hates everybody, even himself.
Exactly. He is the WWE 50 Cent of petty.
Man. He's like, if I can't have the belt, nobody can. No one gets a belt. No one gets any belts.
That's why I say, okay, and maybe I'm, thinking too far ahead as far as having him interfere in both matches, but I could see him interfering definitely in one of those matches.
I think it's going to be the night one match, though. Like I said, him interfering in both would be hilarious. But I think
I think that would be something new because now
it would
be. He always blamed the bloodline for him having a short title run. Then of course he's still going to have. He always hates Seth. He always hates CM Punk, and he's not too fond of Cody. So
and and that puts the general managers in a situation because they're like, okay, you know, which brand is he going? Which belt he's going to go for? You know, he's screwing both our titles up. What do we do? What do we do?
And then they get to fighting, and then leads to the match that we've been waiting for the two GMs.
There we go. Because you know,
see,
Pierce can say,
WrestleMania.
Hey, there you go. Because Pierce could say, hey, you know, you were impressive, but you know, I could throw hands too. I'm a former NWA champion also, and
oh boy,
they've been building that up for a while. There we go.
But let's just say realistically, if he doesn't interfere with that match, I'll go ahead and say Roman finally gets up because Seth has been getting the best of Roman. Every time Roman reaches for a chair, Seth gets the best of him.
Yeah.
Yeah. And someone will interfere, but he's going to screw it up. And of course, but Roman will still get the win. No thanks to punk ass Jeff.
I don't think he's going to screw it up. Well, the Usos may screw it up. Jacob's going to come in there and handle it.
Yeah, because Roman's going to tell Jacob to handle it, and because it was punk ass Jay's fault.
Yeah.
So,
as a matter of fact, after night one, he was probably going to tell Jimmy and Jay to stay backstage. So I'm taking Jacob to ringside with me. You guys wait here. And that's going to add to that beef that's going on also. Because we still have that internal beef going on with the bloodline where, you know, they think they run Jacob, but they don't. And then Roman seems to be on Jacob's side and, you know, he's getting in his head. So that you still have to build that story also.
Very true. But so those are our predictions for SummerSlam. What do you guys think? Be sure to drop a comment below. You know, share, like, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and be sure to join us Saturday night. Starts at what, 5:30 or 5 o'clock?
It's 5 o'clock Central Time, which will be 6 p.m. Eastern. Go to time.gov, do the math. I'm not good at that. Go to time.gov, it'll tell you.
Right. But join us night one, SummerSlam, you know, to get our live reactions to matches and things like that. And you probably will hear some commentary from me. I know I do tend to talk a lot, but I think it should be a good time. You know, just be sure to let us know what you think. Drop your own predictions below. And I look forward to SummerSlam, but I don't have high hopes. I'll put it like that.
We'll see. We will see.
I got hope for it, but
it's SummerSlam.
We'll see. I think they'll pull it off.
But hey,
I think worst case scenario, it'll be like Mania where night one may suck and then they'll make it up to us with night two. But let's not do that. Let's not do that.
Well, first of all, we have the Danhausen match on night 2. That already sucks.
And let's not have surprises. Let's not have so many commercials. Let's start there.
Well, you gonna already lose that one, buddy.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll have commercials, but not so many.
They're already showing commercials for some.
That's what I was about to say. They're already showing commercials. TKO's got to get their money, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
But hey, it is what it is. We shall see Saturday night and Sunday night. So for the crew, as always, I'm with Clint and Curtis. I'm Pierre. We'll catch y'all hopefully live Saturday night, 5 o'clock Central. Check y'all out next time. Ringside right now.
Tuned into the KG show, nigga. My bike life, niggas with 4-wheelers. Coming through the hood, I'm on post with it. Whatever spot I do the most with it.